All right, so we're here with Zuma. We're starting our second edition of the contributor Firesides. And Zuma is core team lead of Teritori. And he's also the founder and the CEO of Samurai Coop. So welcome, Zuma.
Hey,
Yeah, let's get this started with just a little bit of your background, like what brought you into crypto and how did this start?
yeah, sure. Basically, first before crypto, I was really interested in peer-to-peer projects from when I was young. Basically, I discovered Casa, Emule, etc. I don't know if you remember this time, but um, of course, to download music, softwares, etc. So that was the first way, the first peer-to-peer ecosystem I contributed to. And basically, at this moment, I was like just trying to help communities to optimize peer-to-peer, etc., and just discovering as a simple student, etc. And later, I just discovered Bitcoin, basically, and Ethereum in 2014. And I was interested about all the philosophy and the governance part of this kind of protocol. That was my main focus to explore how to build new kind of companies, new kind of project that can be rewarding the common interest or like collective project, etc. And 7 years ago, I founded the first company that is called Samurai Cup. That is a cooperative company that is based in Paris. And the idea behind this company was to, at the very beginning of Samurai Cup, the idea was to create a DAO. But the idea was to gather developers, designers, hackers, and filmmakers, and to contribute to Web3 projects and ecosystems. But at this moment, it was really not safe to build a DAO for long-term projects and in terms of legals, etc. So I explored and studied a lot of cooperative companies to make it fit with DAO culture, etc. And since this moment, we with this company, we provide services to DAOs companies that are building open source projects. So yeah, basically design developers, etc. And the simple concept is the company is owned by builders. So each designer, developer, hacker, etc. can like in a DAO can vote for the boss, I would say. So I'm currently the boss, but I could be ejected by members in the future if I'm not doing good things or etc. And so with this company, we work for many projects like protocol labs, many companies in the ecosystem, and we also work on our own projects. And Teritori is one of our mains. Is in fact the main since now 2 years. And we founded an Teritori with friends that are friends for maybe 5 years now. And I founded Teritori with Adrien, whose nickname is Pop. And with this guy, we experimented 4 years ago a concept of in real life DAO, buying lands in the south of France. And the idea was to co-buy with the community some lands, some shops on kind of little hostels that were really cheap because it was in back countries in France. And the concept was to explore kind of sandbox. How can we build a new kind of not community, but little town that is managed by the community, and people can interact in peer-to-peer. So we were pretty naive because we were thinking, okay, we will bring wallets to people and they will understand what is delegate proof of stake and etc. and we failed a bit on this side because it was like not ready for people to use it. But it was a really nice experience, and Teritori is pretty the next version so of tooling that we want to bring to communities. So yeah, we expect, and our long-term goal is to come back with new tools for communities that can be local communities, etc.
That's crazy. So you guys did a real life DAO and you tried to like take it to this little community, this like town, and
Yeah,
and you were trying to teach people how to like use wallets so that they could like vote on like town like governance things.
yeah. I can
That's
share you
so cool.
the link in the chat. So it's called La Suite du Monde. So it means in French, in English, it's the suite of the world. So yeah, that's and it's still alive because a lot of people are still living there.
Hmm.
But the blockchain and the technology part is kind of in pause, waiting for new tools. And yeah, we are now
Cool.
focused on the tech, and we will come back later when we feel ready.
That's awesome. So you do have intentions to go back and try to make it work.
Of course,
That's
of
awesome.
course.
All right, so I'll put that in the show notes for people that are watching this after, and they can check that out. But that's super cool. That's actually really interesting for, I guess like your developmental period, where you started with LimeWire peer-to-peer networks. You kind of got involved with like Bitcoin, and you're checking it out, figuring out how to code, I guess, right? And you popped into the scene and you tried to make it happen in real life, and right, I guess you found like some technical obstacles and I guess a bit of adoption, like boundaries. But coming back to it, you're like, okay, we're gonna make this tool set better. We're gonna make it easier. So that's actually really cool. Like, I guess a really great foundation for Teritori. Um, so I guess let's tell the audience a little bit more on Teritori. Do you want to fill us in on like a brief overview if you can, and like key features, all the functionalities that the platform has?
Yeah.
Cool.
Maybe I can explain the vision behind Territory behind the before to explain the current state.
Okay.
So our goal with Territory Core Team is to build a kind of the most radically resilient tool for communities. So when we talk about resilience, we think about communication. So obviously to be able to chat with friends, etc., but also to trade and to have like kind of contracts and secure way to interact with people. So the first, the birth of Territory is, of course, based on our experience with La Suite du Monde and other projects. And we were thinking about, okay, we need to have a simple tool to allow people to create a DAO, even if they don't know what is a DAO. So in the future, we believe that the experience that we need to provide is a simple chat. So um, for example, when you create a group chat with friends on Signal, you will not care about the technical part, etc. So our vision of Teritori is to be based on simple chat and allow people to convert this group of people into a DAO without any friction. So that's our long-term vision, and on this vision, we can also have like simple plugins, so interactions with other features. So, for example, if with you, John, I want to create a new product and we want to sell some services. I don't know, we are like freelance designers together. We can create a DAO and with this DAO, sell our services on a freelance marketplace. And we will do it easily with starting from the chat together and create and manage our DAO easily. So that's our target to deliver it in the upcoming months. And we expect that the main feature will be the chats in the future. because that's the simple way to also onboard new people that even don't know what's a wallet, what's his blockchain, etc. Because basically in the chat you will not have to seeing transactions, etc. It's option messenger, but decentralized. So it's also interesting in terms of resilience because this kind of chat is based on Wedge protocol and dApp protocol. So we can communicate with friends in a rural, in a backcountry, and when there is no networks around, we can use Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, etc. So that's the vision for us is mainly based on this, bring kind of resilient tool to cooperate in the local area. And our strategy when we started Teritori was to be less naive than the first project we had, and we were thinking, okay, we will convert people into Web3 tools, etc. And for this new strategy, we decided to focus on Web3. I would say not new, tech people or Web3 addict. I would say so. People that were already using wallets, trading NFTs, etc. And it was also a way for us to start a community that is active and can trade NFTs, etc. So during last month, we spent a lot of time to just bring like the most common standards features of Web3. So actually, you can find, of course, an NFT marketplace. You can find a Launchpad. You have now a social feed that is decentralized, so basically kind of Twitter experience, but which is censorship resistant. You can also have a name service that will allow you to find your friends and find someone easily without knowing his blockchain address. So for us, the goal was to deliver quickly the first foundations to have something interesting for Web3 communities. And slowly, with this first version, we bring the real innovation step by step. And the real innovation will be both the messenger, which is like the core feature in the upcoming year, and also, of course, the Noland innovation, because we believe that Noland will be a really interesting stack for us to scale, etc., and to allow more governance feature, etc., in the future.
Okay. I mean, so the Teritori app has a lot going on. You said there was an NFT marketplace, which I've seen. I've checked out the Riot NFTs. There's wallet management. I know that's how you you manage Tori, the token. But will there be more tokens on there?
Yeah, sure. So basically, we want to provide a kind of multi-chain experience. So everything we do actually on in terms of features will be available on as many networks as possible. So you'll have like both all the Cosmos ecosystem, but also Ethereum and of course No. And we think that we will migrate from so currently the Teritori network is Cosmos SDK based, and we want to migrate in the future on the Noland chain. And that's interesting for us to study how can be the transition. And since we are kind of first contributors on Noland, we will also bring a lot of documentation for interactions with Cosmos ecosystem, but also like all features that we built for Cosmos networks and for Ethereum will be useful to be rebuilt and to be available also in Noland. So we want to provide something that is kind of agnostic in terms of experience, but behind the hood, we believe that Noland will be the core network for us and the core stack.
Okay. Yeah. You also mentioned a name service a Launchpad, and the social feed, right? So, I mean, those are pretty like kind of like a mix between like especially the messenger platform and the social feed. Those are very much web 2. But then you have like the wallet management, the ability to transfer NFTs and stuff. So it's like you're kind of creating this sort of hybrid platform. Really good
Yeah.
Web3 tool sets that will enable a lot of interactions when Noland hits. But so I'm kind of wondering what are the main use cases that you're seeing, that you're kind of envisioning? You were kind of talking about like DAO management and like communities interacting. You want to elaborate on that a bit?
Yeah, sure. So our main focus is to build some resilient tools for communities, and we think that the current state of DAOs is really interesting in term of experimentations, etc. But it's still like too complicated and too there is too much friction basically for any company to use it, or any non-profit organizations, etc. And we think that it's both a challenge in terms of UX, and it's also a challenge in terms of network effect, because for example, if you analyze a bit the current state of DAOs, a lot of people want to join a DAO when there is a new token, but once the token is here, no one is voting, no one is contributing to the DAO, and that's less than 10% of people that basically vote on the governance of the DAO, especially on Ethereum, etc. And we think at Teritori that it's mainly because the governance UI, or the UX to access to the governance, is dedicated to the governance. And if you think about the current state of the Web 2, people, for example, can join Twitter or Facebook, and they daily use it, and they can use it for communications with direct message, etc. And they're, I would say, exposed naturally to a new topic, or to an ads, etc. And we think that we need to place the governance topics and, for example, a new proposal that can be from a DAO where I am a member of this DAO. I think that we need to display it in the feed, in the social feed, where the user is coming every day for many reasons. And at this moment, he discovered the news of this governance. So yeah, that's kind of a bet from us, because it's like yeah, that's a thesis we assume, and we want to build it. We think that basically, if you have a club with friends, you need to be informed of a new proposal on the governance in your social feed, or in the place where you discuss with friends, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's a way to like bring everyone together.
Yeah.
So you said that there's a name service as well. How does the name service work, and what benefits do you see it offering to users?
So right now, the name service for Teritori network is based on Cosmosm. So you can basically just create your profile. If you want, maybe I can share my screen. It can be more visual, I
Yeah,
guess.
demonstration sounds good.
Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So here is the home of the Teritori dApp. So here you'll find the name service feature, and so basically you will be able to see all last name service that have been booked, and you can register here your name, whatever you want. And so it's quite simple because it's a simple form, I would say. But I would show you what it gives you at the end. So basically, it will automatically create your user profile. So once you are using Teritori, you will have a place where everything that you bring, that you posted, or everything that you hold is on your profile. So our goal is with this experience is to allow people to be to interact with friends easily, and to, for example, if I want to find a friend, I can find Norman easily, and I can interact with him on the social feed. And the other thing is, in the future, we need to create a kind of social proof, and also the proof of contribution. So here you can imagine that if I am selling some services as developer, as a designer, or whatever on the freelance marketplace, it will gather all the gigs that are available for clients, but also it will have a kind of badge system for all previous works I made, all contributions I made for a DAO, etc. So in the long run, you'll be able to verify, okay, this guy is skilled on the code side, etc., and to see everything that can make sure that you're not like discussing with a scammer, etc. And even if this guy is anonymous, you'll have like all blockchain proof, I would say, of transactions that he made, etc. And of course, you'll be able to see all DAOs, his number, etc.
Okay, so
So
it's like a social transparency
yeah,
feature.
exactly. And so basically, I can hold a lot of name service. So it's like an NFT, of course, in term of code. So I can transfer a name or sell it, etc.
Excellent. So how do you see it evolving and creating sort of a symbiosis with other no dApps?
I think so. Maybe to give you the current context of what we're building on GNO, we had to build the foundations basically because Noland is early, and our first contribution was to build the GNO DAO deployer. So to create, we designed and create some DAO standards.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first step that was needed because our goal was to work on the GNO moderation DAO. So the GNO moderation DAO module is to allow the social feed to be moderated only by a DAO. So um, basically, our goal is to experiment the way to moderate contents, etc., in a decentralized way. And so the first step was to allow DAO creation. The second one was to build the moderation DAO. Maybe I should screen share again because I can show you the moderation DAO now.
Okay.
Um, so can you see my screen again?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So here I was on the Teritori network, but now I will go on the GNO Teritori testnet. So as I said, the second work we made was to allow the community to moderate the social feed. So we created a flag system. So to give you an example, if I think that this video is not appropriate on the social feed, I can flag this content. I can decide to flag it just for me and hide it from my personal feed. But I can also flag this content for all users, and it will create a proposal. So, sorry, this one is already already flagged. So basically, if I flag another one, let's say I flag this one. Um, if I'm a member of the moderation DAO, oh, that's because the wallet is not connected. Just a second. Should be good. Demo effect. Okay, so that's not the right network. That's why. Okay. So if I'm a moderation DAO member, basically I will have this tab on the top, and with a notification, I will see, okay, there is a new proposal to ban a content, and I will be able to vote for this. So let's say I want to make a proposal to ban this one, this content. I will be able, oh, it's not connected yet. I'm sorry, there is a bug again. Demo effect.
It's all good. It's in development still. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's switching to the old, the other testnet, so I don't know exactly what's the problem. Let me check. I'm sorry.
Oh,
I
it's
would like
okay.
to.
I think right there it says moderation DAO. There we go. Is that
Yeah,
it?
yeah. But I'm not connected on the GNU Territory testnet, and I don't know why. So this bug is annoying because it's reconnecting me to the old testnet. So just to explain, we created a dedicated no territory testnet because we created new realms that were not that were bringing new features on the testnet, and the GNU testnet number 3 was not ready for this. So that's why we have a dedicated one.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
yeah, that's not fully ready right now. Sorry.
No worries, but I mean, we kind of get the concept, right? Is that like you have a piece of content, and then you have a moderation DAO, and then the moderation DAO consists of multiple members, and then they're able to approve or deny whether content is filtered.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And just also to explain something, once you'll be on testnet, for example, or of course in the mainnet, you'll be able to create your own user name on GNU easily within a dedicated UI. So it will create, as you see before, a dedicated profile like this one, directly directly based on Noland.
Okay. Um, I think that kind of leads into the next step of asking about more of the features. You mentioned that there was also a Launchpad, right?
Yeah.
What kind of projects is Teritori looking to support? How can startups or creators wanting to get involved participate?
So right now the Launchpad is available on Teritori network only, but our goal, of course, will be to build the same on Noland as soon as possible. And the goal for us is to support many projects that can be fitting with the philosophy to bring tools for community or products, I would say. So it can be games, can be whatever the project, but not only NFT that have no project behind. Even if it's not a tech project, we believe that, for example, there is an external project that has been supported and which is interesting. It's called Tory Punks. And so these guys built kind of Tory Punks game with also Russian roulettes, or there are various games. I don't know all games they build, but I know there are two or three little games, and also comics. And we think that that's the community that will decide, of course, what has have to be supported and um, launched. At the moment, it's quite centralized because we have like kind of form to make sure that we don't have scammers, etc. So at the moment, that the Teritori core team and also some community members that are reviewing everything. But we want to provide a fully autonomous and decentralized launchpad that will be cared by the community. So that's why also we need to continue our works on the moderation DAO or justice DAO, etc. Because we want to make sure that once we will launch a launchpad on Noland, we want to make sure that it can be managed by the team, the community, and not by the team. So yeah, that's why we need to split and have all little modules to make sure that the governance can be fully managed by the community.
Cool. That leads me to my next question perfectly. Like, what are the current governance mechanisms in place for Teritori? How can the community get involved? And what kind of future governance mechanisms do you have down the pipeline?
So there is two different layers, I would say. The first one, of course, is the blockchain. So the whole governance is the governance on the protocol side is, of course, managed by proposal on the blockchain and can be seen on the explorers, etc. So it's pretty. We're not too much active on this side. And for example, last proposal was to update various things on the blockchain to allow burn and buyback of Tori tokens. And we think that we need to care now about the more dedicated governances. So, for example, for the Launchpad, it was a good example, but we think that each feature need a dedicated community DAO that will manage the feature of this feature. And so we're trying to improve the UX to make sure that people can easily vote, easily interact with the moderation DAO. And maybe to give you another example that is important for us, and it's a part of our work on Noland. So as I said previously, we built the DAO deployer, and after the moderation module, and now we are building the justice DAO module that will be useful because, for example, when we launch a freelance marketplace, which is decentralized, we'll have, of course, a realm, so a smart contract that make sure that the seller and the buyer are safe in their contract. But also we need to make sure that if there is a conflict between these two people, we can call humans, I would say, so a DAO that is dedicated to solve this kind of conflict. So these kind of modules are really important for a long-term and sustainable ecosystem and dApp. So we believe that for each feature, we will have this kind of module that is really important to make the dApp safe for all to interact with. And to give you an estimation, maybe we think that we will be ready for the Justice DAO module on Noland in October.
Okay, wow. Yeah, so I mean, that's a pretty major milestone. Do you have any other little sneaky details that you can let us know about future developments that the Teritori community can expect soon?
To be honest, we are excited about the messenger because it will bring a kind of new experience for all users. we think that so we expect to release the V1 of the Messenger at the end of September. Of course, it will be both on mobile and on desktop. So that's why for us it's like exciting, because it will bring a kind of new, huge milestone for us. And we think that it will be during maybe 3 months or 5 months. It will be for us a nice way to experiment new interactions between features, and listen to community feedback, because we think that, for example, in simple chat, as I said, you can imagine new way to make it really simple for people to, for example, trade something in a conversation, etc. So we believe that we are really an early project, and we need to experiment with the community and get feedback and iterate, optimize, etc. So the messenger was really important for us. And on the other side, in terms of I would say innovation, which is not really mainstream or UI. It's not like product innovation, but behind the hood, the really exciting part for us is to build tools for DAOs on Noland, because we think that we can bring a lot of module and have a long-term modularity vision, modular vision, I would say, that can be a kind of many tools that can interact, etc. So yeah, that's our main focus right now.
Cool, I'm excited to check that out. So I'm kind of curious, do you have a background in Cosmos, or did you just hop straight into No? And why did you decide to build on No?
Before GNO, we didn't build really on Cosmos. For 3 years, we were like observing and analyzing the ecosystem, and especially the tech, because we were thinking that maybe to explain, I was studying the DPoS, so delegated proof of stake, 4 years ago with a project that was called ARC, and it was kind of the first time I discovered the proof of stake, and I was studying the evolution of the ecosystem, etc. And once Cosmos was live, I was like really thinking about, okay, that's the next step and really well executed, and the teams that are working on it are really serious, and it's really exciting. So at this moment, I only start to study it, etc. And with all mates, we were like, okay, this is a game changer in terms of scalability, in terms of all problems that we identified in Ethereum, basically, was like already solved in the Cosmos ecosystem. So it was really exciting to see it evolving and going straight in terms of development. It was really nice. And when Jaquan started Noland, the vision behind the new paradigm of the proof of contribution was really fitting with our philosophy, with many things that we built in the past, and we were thinking about the potential of the both Golang approach that can really be simple to onboard many millions of developers, etc. But also we were thinking about the scalability for governance tools, basically, to manage a nation or a network state, etc. So it was like inspiring and really exciting to join it as soon as possible, and to contribute to Noland.
That's great to hear. So you mentioned earlier that Teritori was built on Cosmos SDK, right? And so I guess how do you see that connection happening, will Teritori migrate, or is there going to be a bridge? How do you see it working out?
It's not really defined yet, but we think that we will probably be one of the most one of the first team that can interact between Cosmos ecosystem and Noland stack. And we think that it can be interesting to migrate our token from Cosmos SDK to Noland. And we're still like in a kind of research mode on this topic, and we want to study all possibilities. Maybe it can be interesting to be a kind of huge contributor on Noland, but remain a Cosmos SDK chain and interact with the Noland chain. So since it's early at the moment on Noland, and we need to continue to explore again, etc. And I think that we all believe that it can be really interesting to migrate, but at the moment, honestly, we cannot say. And in terms of interaction with the dApp, our goal is to basically be the main dApp on Noland, since we can, for example, with the dApp store, we can promote all new dApps that are available on Noland easily. And our vision is to make the kind of OS operating system vision. So as soon as there is a new dApp on Noland, we can list it in the dApp store and make it available for all users. So that's also a way for us to make sure that we can contribute to the ecosystem in the long run by like showing all the potential of Noland, and yeah, bring lights on projects on Noland.
Yeah, so expanding the dashboard, making sure that everything's connected, and then with the social platform, you kind of like, you won't need to, I guess you won't really need to go to Twitter to like learn everything about Noland. That's kind of the goal, right?
Yeah, sometimes we have a joke with friends that Teritori is the kind of the WeChat application, but without the Chinese government. So that's the kind of all-in-one sometimes. And to be honest, that's really hard to explain what we do, because when people ask, oh, what is Teritori, there are a lot of features, and yeah, to be honest, that's a challenge for us to explain it. But we believe that in the long run, we will only have like the core feature and probably the chat. And yeah, it will be like plugins and modules that we can use or not. So
it's the world of messengers now is so crazy. Like you can do like, you know, like a Steam messenger, you can hop into somebody's game like literally in the chat. Or if you think about, I don't know, Facebook Messenger, you can literally send money, you can call them, there's just so much functionality to everything. So it's like, it sounds funny to call it like, yeah, we're working on a messenger, and then they're like, oh, okay, so you can like text back and forth. But it's like, no, actually, like most messengers have like 100 features now.
Yeah, you're right.
It's pretty crazy. So cool. Let's talk a little bit about, you know, we're approaching the hour here, so let's kind of wrap up and talk about how people can contribute to Teritori if they want to. Are you guys hiring? Do you have any? You said there's a Launchpad, so obviously if someone's interested in collaborating there, they can do that. So
yeah,
what do you got?
So basically, if you want to just to reply fastly, we are hiring. So you have a job page on the website, and in September we will also release the grants program. So basically, we are preparing some open grants, so people can just apply and have a proposal of project, whatever the topic. It can be a games, dApps, or whatever. And we think that slowly we will migrate from a centralized grant program that is currently managed by the core team, and we will slowly migrate to DAO based grant program. And that's why we try to bring all modules ready for upcoming months. And also there are a simple way for people that just want to use the Launchpad to, when you're in the Teritori dApp, you can use the form, and the team will reply and connect with builders.
Perfect. You guys are the connection men. Cool, Zuma. So I guess my last question is, what are you guys personally looking forward to the most with Noland and Teritori and I guess the evolution of this ecosystem?
That's an hard question because we have like huge ideas for the future, and I think that Noland is like building something that can be really different from the current Web3 ecosystem. And from my humble opinion, I think that it's a new stack that will be game changer for developers. So I think the next year will be very exciting because many, I would say millions of developers will be able to interact with Noland really simply, like their Golang backend language. So for me, it's really exciting, and I think that we need to care about all first tools that can be exciting for developers to join it. And once this phase will be ready, I really think that it can be the new stack for to scale new kind of organizations. And since it's our focus to like address non-profits or companies and DAOs needs, we think that it can be really a new paradigm and new tools that are really powerful for, I would say, a better future in terms of organizations, etc. And we think that maybe in 1 year or 2 years, it will be easy to interact with Noland. And at this moment, we will probably come back to local communities and build tools for like the end user, which is my mom, kids, or whatever. And that's what we all got in mind. And we have to be patient and to build like foundation for developers first and make it scalable for the next steps.
Step at a time, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome, Zuma. So as far as the show notes, I'm gonna put in that community, the community that you guys tried to experiment with the DAO, and then I'm gonna put in the Teritori job page, the grants program, and the Launchpad. Is there anything else you'd like to put out there?
Also, you can check the hackerspace page on the GitHub on Noland.
Okay.
I can share you the link if you want.
Yep.
And basically, it's like documenting what we are building on Noland. And if you want to, if you are interested to contribute or to join us on this kind of topic, of course, you're welcome.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much, Zuma. This was a pleasure. I learned a bunch.
Thanks to you.
Thank you, Zuma. Have a good one.
Yeah, bye. See you next time.
Ciao.